So I want to just maybe to finish, just a couple of quick like specifics on this. So one is going to be, so just as an example, so the player, the younger player, he's 12 again. He's playing AAA, and then he also attends an academy. Um, and this is her exact words. She said, "I can safely say that this season has been more like a nightmare than a dream, partly because my player not kicking up his effort to the level he needed to." And then in brackets, she said, "I now think he doesn't know how to do that on his own yet. And what he needed, but I didn't know at the time, was to continue more one-on-one lessons, even once the season started, and not do only group stuff, such as this academy that he's with." So
I didn't even see that part.
yeah, so I want to pick that apart just for a second, because still here, it's okay. Instead of this, we'll do this. Now, my inclination is, okay, maybe instead of this, maybe let's not do anything.
That's where I would go for
You
sure.
know, so like maybe it's pull back, maybe it's do less, maybe it's not replace, because even the one-on-one lessons, like if you have, for example, we do this through the season where we'll do like Monday nights or Tuesday nights, and we have a group, and it's the same group through the week, but it's like they've already had, you know, they're coming off a weekend where they had 4 games, or they had 2 games on the weekend. They have their 2-3 practices a week. They're tired. They have a workout, and then they come see you for an extra session, which is, even if it's one-on-one, even if it's three coaches to 6 skaters or whatever it is, it's still more. It's still an extra thing, you know. And so I think my advice would be, like, the kid better be really, really, really wanting to do the extra if you're going to do the extra. And I have no problem with doing the extras. If you guys want to do the extras, if financially it's fine, if logistically it's fine, if the kid wants to do it and they're motivated to do it and they want to be there, all that's fine. Like, I have no problem with that. With this, our business is that, you know. But if the kid is, you're not seeing a return on your investment, at a certain point, you don't keep doubling down. You know, you don't keep more. Maybe pull back and see. Maybe you pull back too much and the kid, like, it misses it, and
That's what you would like to
begging,
see,
right?
yeah.
And so instead of it being even that philosophy shift of, well, instead of group stuff, maybe one-on-one, that could be right. Maybe that's true. Maybe that would help, but maybe not. Maybe it would be, how about let's just remove one? Let's take one away and have him be more excited to get on the ice and to do the stuff and to see if he actually loves it or not. Like, most kids they're force fed so much that they don't even know if they like it or not anymore, because they just have to go every day. They haven't even had a chance to decide whether or not they want to go, you know? And so when it comes to you get this more bad taste in your mouth about the season has been more of a nightmare, and I think that's where you can end up feeling like you had a bad experience going through hockey when you do stuff like this. You know, I have one more comment I wanted to make, but do you have anything to say about that before?
No, I agree 1,000%. I'm the biggest fan of taking some time off. And I say this all the time. You know, a lot of people realize that if your kid gets to go and play junior or college or something like that, where hockey is a job, or it's the next step to getting a job, you'll realize that it is an everyday thing, and that there is the extra is because you have to, right? If you can't get pucks out of your end, you have to get on the ice and learn how to peel pucks off the wall, or your skating's not to something you're going to have to spend. Like, it's a job thing now. And you don't. It's not whether you like it or not. It's a necessary evil that you have to do. And if you're fortunate enough to like it, then that's great. But what happens is it gets old fast because it is a job. And all this time that you spend, that you think extra, but more is better, then you realize it's more is just a pain in my ass. Like, actually, rest is better. And I would say, exactly to your point, like, what is a private lesson? Because this is, again, comes back to I think, a mistake that people make when it comes to training. Let me be clear. When you're doing training, if you're doing training and development, then yes, it has to be, like, to get the best of it, should be specific to you. But everything seems to be an individual skill. So if you're not working hard, or your effort's not there and all that stuff, and then you take a private lesson, it's like you're still just working on your, like, beating the hell out of yourself, right? Like, what are we gonna do for a kid what is a private lesson really gonna do? I don't think you can work him too much harder, like, to get his effort level up, because it's like you and a coach. So you can just bag them, or do things like, or now you could do little areas in small areas, like I was saying earlier, like where they're intense, like that's okay and stuff. But the private lesson is probably not going to be the thing. It's not the thing that's going to change your world.
Yeah, because I mean, how much? Again, it's like how much is a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 10-year-old really dialed into the
This is
teaching
what I'm saying.
in a private lesson? So it's like even if you have the best coach, it's just not necessarily appropriate. That's more for the 19-year-old that's about to be a pro, and we have to refine
Yeah.
something or
Or
tweak
someone going to
something.
the
Or
OHL, and it's
yeah,
like,
you
yeah,
know,
you've got to move your feet when you're shooting, and we're going to work on that till for the next 2 months, so that no one knows when the puck's coming off your stick.
exactly. You know, and I think that's the people don't really understand that mindset. I think the last thing I wanted to say is I was having a conversation with one of our dads the other day, and he was talking about how poor his kid's experience with hockey has been to this point because of the people that are in charge, like the coaches and the organizations and the false promises and the bullshit and all this. And I guess my summary for this episode is kind of two things. One would be maybe like, well, my first message at the start of this was, guys, let's calm down. Number one. Number two would be maybe pull back on how much your kid's doing and see what happens. Like, just see. Go against your internal drive to want to do more and just see what happens. If you do feel like you're doing not enough for a little, and just see what happens. It'll be okay. I promise it'll be okay. And then the last thing is when you're going to do the extras, you have to make sure you're kind of doing your best to vet what it is that you're looking at. And my one thing, because most people won't even be able to do that because they're not hockey people, but my one thing is the person that you're speaking to able to say where they're not good enough or where there might be an issue, or honestly tell you which things are not going to be the best, and not just promise the world and you buy into the sales pitch. You know, like most people are smart enough to not buy into the spam phone call that they get. But then as soon as we step into like the things with our kids, and people can sell you the world and you get hooked on it. You know, we have people around
Well,
here
so the
that
same compliment, like me and my wife laugh. We still get emails from companies that are inviting Charlie to a prospect tournament. So like, but I'm not saying that in any weird way, but like all the listeners out there, when you get the email talking about we are having this prospect, I don't give a I don't care if it says college. I don't care if it says junior this, junior that, identification camps and all this stuff. It's another, your name is another one on the list. Just like they got my son's when he was probably 11 or 12, and it's never left that list. So we still keep getting him. He's getting some for colleges now. Like, we're really interested in you. Right? So when you get that and you go, wow, we got this camp he's invited to. Well, my son's not eligible to go to any of those, but he's still eligible to receive the things. Right? They'll take anybody.
right.